Hey, thanks for having us back. We are happy to be here. For those who don't know, we are Mammoth Crypto. We have a great one for you today. We're going to dive in very quickly. This is going to be all about Bitcoin issues. And I want you to take a look at our picture here. And you can see this image right here of a tree dying. And for a lot of us, that's kind of what's happening with Bitcoin. But, don't worry. There's going to be more information to come. But really quickly, let me jump back on. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. That way we can continue to have a cool sense of community. Let's go ahead and dive into our first issue. And we're going to be kind of experiencing a little bit of discussion, almost as if we are an expert on Bitcoin, but we are going to be going over what some of the experts are talking about. Now, expert on Bitcoin issues, if you're searching for an expert to discuss Bitcoin problems, Liquis can be a great option. Now, Liquis is an expert regarding this topic. She co-authored the first peer-reviewed study on the people's attitudes towards Bitcoin. Additionally, she has written numerous studies related to Bitcoin. Additionally, she is a consultant to cryptocurrency companies. So keep this in mind. Okay, we are going to dive in to Litecoin. We're going to be spending most of the bulk of our conversation on Litecoin and also Bitcoin. And hopefully we will see a strong comeback of Bitcoin, if only. Gotta love the sandboard. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into our second slide. And this is going to be all about Litecoin. Now, Litecoin, the differences between Litecoin and Bitcoin are a challenge for newcomers to determine the best one. Both cryptocurrencies are decentralized and use the same cryptography. However, they have some differences. Litecoin comes with a block generation time about 2.25 minutes shorter than Bitcoin. Both offer advantages. Litecoin is a good example. It can be used faster to make payments to customers than Bitcoin. Charlie Lee founded Litecoin and enjoys a great deal of control over it. We aren't sure what the motives behind Charlie Lee in establishing and maintaining Litecoin are. It is, however, difficult to ignore the fact that Lee has recently sold a majority of his LTC holdings. While it may appear an indication that Lee has a conflict of motive, it could signal his confidence in the long-term future of Litecoin. Now, both Litecoin and Bitcoin have various challenges. While both currencies use proof of work to validate transactions, they share the same features. Litecoin features a much faster transaction processing system. Both require miners to solve complicated mathematical problems before they are granted the power to record transaction blocks, which are shut down by miners who first created them, cannot be altered. Now, a major difference between Litecoin and Bitcoin is the number of coins that are in circulation. Both Bitcoin has a limit of 21 million coins. In contrast, Litecoin includes 84 million coin collection. The network of Litecoin processes 4 transactions 4 times more quickly than Bitcoin's. You can mine Litecoin at a lower power than Bitcoin through the use of an affordable ASIC. However, both currencies are susceptible to centralization in mining. Now, while Litecoin is a well-known cryptocurrency, mass adoption has not ever occurred. There's no clear case for its use. It was introduced in 2011 as a faster alternative to Bitcoin. Due to its limited supply, it's seen as being the silver to Bitcoin's gold. It has been marketed as more of a secure coin in the face of attacks that are 51. The way in which currencies are traded is an additional difference between Litecoin and Bitcoin. Litecoin can be exchanged against the US dollar. Now, if you want to purchase Litecoin, it's going to require you to exchange some US dollar to finance the price. If the price of Litecoin is increased, it will then be in a position to sell for profits. Now, this has a downside. The fact that Litecoin's volatility is high, which can cause major losses. While there may be differences between Bitcoin and Litecoin's currencies, they have some commonalities. Now, transaction processing in Bitcoin is notoriously slow. The initial Bitcoin block can be processed up to 10 minutes. It's a problem for merchants that take on Bitcoin. Now, Litecoin's blockchain technology makes it simpler for individuals to process multiple transactions simultaneously. The base fee is less than a tenth per transaction. Litecoin is considerably cheaper than Bitcoin, and it can process more transactions every second. So there's a lot going on there with Litecoin. We're going to go ahead and give Bitcoin a chance to join the discussion as well. Let's go ahead and go back to our full screen. Yep, there we go. And let's take you to Bitcoin. And before we dive fully into Bitcoin, I want to make sure we do one more pass at you. Have you liked the video yet? If not, ask yourself, why haven't you liked the video? Do me a favor, click the like button. Thanks. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Here we go. It's our beautiful slide for Bitcoin, given an opportunity to be discussed here as well. Now, Bitcoin has a variety of issues that have been raised in recent time. Now, Bitcoin developments include legal and regulatory concerns. Now, Financial Crime Enforcement Network, FinCEN, has issued guidelines on cryptocurrency exchange. It also outlined the need to adhere to anti-money laundering regulations. Now, recent enforcement actions have been taken to legitimize and regulate the digital currency. In light of their privacy, Bitcoins are the preferred payment method for drug dealers. Although anonymity has many benefits, it can also pose a substantial risk. For example, in the case of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, there is a clear alert warning for risk of taking advantage of Bitcoin. According to the Bureau, Bitcoin users do not have insurance against losing their money, and transactions aren't guaranteed to be safe. A number of companies offering virtual currency services have not been reliable, and previous breaches of Bitcoin wallets have left the users in need of assistance. In addition, the use of Bitcoin can be linked to many kinds of theft. So these are things that we really need to consider and make sure that we watch out for as we embark and participate in Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and continue. Now, the price of Bitcoin is high in terms of volatility, which makes it an unreliable store of value. Now, businesses don't value their goods with Bitcoins, which make the issue much more serious. It can be prompted as a plan to mine Bitcoin and also have some of it banned. Now, this demonstration of absence of regulatory system is an international inquiry. Now, investors are also concerned regarding the substantial and virtual currency exchanges. Now, let's talk a little bit about the good of Bitcoin. Now, we do know there's no centralized network, and it's on a decentralized network, which is great in a lot of ways, but also the regulation of theft is also very nerve-wracking. Though Bitcoin does have the blockchain ledger, which makes it very secure because of the proof due to the blockchain. So there are many pros and cons to Bitcoin, but we have to keep in mind Bitcoin's still new. It's still new to the dance. So we have to give it its time to develop and see what comes from it. It looks like things are going to be okay if you can hold on and stick around for the future. This, again, is not advice. This is just education. We're just having a discussion here. But if you would like for our opinion, please leave a comment below so that we can have a further discussion and address some of your questions. But elsewise, we appreciate you being here. Hopefully it's been a great experience. I'm going to go ahead and take us back to home base here. Here we go. Hopefully that you can have a great rest of your week, and please be well.